Hey guys, we're here with Guillermo from Poxil Eco Village in Chetmag. Amazing day. Thank you for this vision that you've shared.
Thank you,
excited
guys.
to see how this goes. What are you most excited about with the project?
Well, I am excited to create something that's like off the grid, like communities that are not dependent on the actual, like the current life conditions where we're having very big carbon footprint on nature, just kind of like taking from nature and taking. So I am excited to create like projects that are more like ecologically driven, that we become sustainable with Earth, and that we create communities that can slowly, gradually be able to unhook from the traditional economics of capitalism, where you're kind of like enslaved in this kind of like everlasting rat race of just kind of paying bills and so forth, where we can just kind of like create a different path of living together in harmony with nature and sharing, sharing what we know, sharing music, sharing ideas.
Beautiful.
And so yeah, that's pretty much the vision, that how all of this began. I was wanting to be like, basically it's a sense of acquiring freedom. Yeah. Right. Because there are different kinds of freedom, right? There's freedom from, not being locked in somewhere, and then there's freedom from financial freedom, right? And then there's freedom from the minds, right? Yeah. From ideas, from concepts, from things that society and government tells us that needs to be done, and this is the right way to do it. Right. So it's just kind of like this idea of the more acquired freedoms that you have. Yep. The better, the better life can be. We can enjoy this short ride of life, right, in a more in a better way, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's just kind of like going in that way of just acquiring as much freedom as we can in terms of like being free from government, status quo, and society-driven ideas.
Sovereignty is the word we like to use. Yeah. Sovereignty and freedom in this way, to be self-sustaining in the things we need: beautiful housing, water, food, energy, and the piece that you mentioned, the human element, where we live in harmony with ourselves, mind, each other, the community, and most importantly, nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not to say that, all this like being like super left and like, capitalism is so bad or whatever. No, it's just like what we were mentioning earlier. Just like, it's fine, it's there, but then you can choose to use it. Right. And it's fine, it's there. It's manifested so many things. Like, for example, one thing that I hold dearly in that path of the capitalist way is that we know where we are in the cosmos, for example. Right. That is I think that is one of the biggest accomplishments that system has created to put to work. And I mention this because there's always two sides in everything, right? There's this Taoistic thing where you can't all just, because I don't want to sound like all like pessimistic and negative about it. Yeah. So it's also proper to talk about the other side, what it has given us, the minds to put together people who work in creating telescopes in space, where we can see where we are in the cosmos, which has been the dream of humanity, especially in these lands of the astrologers, of the Mayas, who were the observers of the stars. Yeah. And they could only, just one picture of one of these Hubble telescopes, and I know there's a new one going around that's just even more powerful, which is crazy in itself, but just, having an image of the cosmos and knowing where we are, I think that's an accomplishment that also needs to be mentioned, and I think it's one of the big accomplishments of that system, which cannot be neglected. Right. So it has its positive things as well, but that's why I mentioned that we have to use it. You have to be. You can't be just controlled by it, and you have to be forced upon it. And that's just how you have to do. How you have to live. But you can choose to use it, but you're not dependent on it. Right.
Evolution is healthy.
So I think that's the direction of this place. So we can be free in that sense, but we can also choose to work in that system. Whether it's in engineering or all these other masteries.
Amazing things that have come from the system.
Yeah.
But again, evolution is healthy, and we've seen it, and we see how it could be better.
And better.
And in communities like this, we get the opportunity to collectively create that system.
Exactly.
And you're definitely doing this right now. And we're really grateful to meet you.
Absolutely.
Really grateful to be connected. And really looking forward to helping and connecting you with this tribe and this network to grow a community.
Guillermo is a beautiful example of a vision holder and co-creator in community that brings together the best of all worlds. We're talking about living in community, human connection, consciousness, making use of sustainable solutions, bringing in technology, blockchain, working with the government, and really creating a tribe, creating a home for all of this to take place and rise. We are very, very excited to connect with you.
Thank you.
And co-create.
Yeah, stay tuned for more from Poxil Eco Village here in Chemax.
Yucatán. Gracias.
Boom.